Hello students, in this video we are going to continue with Act 2, Scene 6, and along with that we will do the explanation of Scene 7. So here let's begin the explanation of Act 2, Scene 6 without wasting any time. This scene takes place in Venice, where all the friends, Graciano, Salarino, they have all gathered to execute the plan of Lorenzo eloping with Jessica or vice versa. But here the point is, Lorenzo has still not reached at the spot where he has decided to meet all his friends. So they are in conversation regarding that. So the text is as such. Scene 6, Venice. They are all near Shylock's house, and Graciano and Salarino, they come and they start the conversation with Graciano's speech. This is the penthouse under which Lorenzo desired us to make stand. Salarino says his hour is almost past. Here Graciano saying this was the house, ये एक particular house का shade है या particular area है जहाँ पर Lorenzo ने हमसे बोला था that we should be coming and meeting each other over here. We should be waiting for each other here. But we all have come. He has still not arrived. Graciano says, Salarino says, yes, it is the same place where he told all of us to stand. Graciano then says, and it is marvel he outdwells his hour, for lovers ever run before the clock. It is very surprising that he, being in love, has been late, because lovers are always before time. They are ahead of the time of whatever the time they have decided to meet with their loved ones. And here Lorenzo himself, being in love, is late. That is quite amazing and surprising. Salarino says, oh, 10 times faster Venus's pigeons fly to see love's bond new made. He is talking about the same thing, that lovers are always fast and before time to meet their loved ones. So he says they are even faster than the pigeons of Venus. Venus over here is basically considered to be the classical god of love. So he says that Venus's pigeons fly fast, and the lovers who are in love, they are even faster than that, not only just faster but 10 times faster than them, and that is to fulfill the promises, the meetings they have decided with their loved ones. Then they are wont to keep obliged faith for unforfeited. And rather, you can say, he gives a comment that when they are new in love, they are before time to fulfill their promises. Although when the time passes and they have achieved their love, then they do not fulfill these promises, and they are late to, or they do not feel that urge of fulfilling that promises before time, or they are not so eager about it. But initially they are very eager to fulfill all their love promises. Graciano quotes on that the later part of the speech, that they are not so eager to fulfill their promises later onwards when they have achieved their love. Graciano comments on that and says, that ever holds who riseth from a feast with that keen appetite that he sits down. Now here, as we know, Graciano talks a lot, explains a lot. So here also he is giving a longer speech for just one particular thing. He gives two, three different explanations. He says, क्या कभी किसी को देखा है तुमने जो फीस्ट में जाता है with the same amount of hunger, appetite for the food that he has in the beginning? क्या वो उसी के साथ वापस लौट के आता है? No, because his hunger is satisfied once he has had the entire feast in the party or the place where he has gone to enjoy. So one who goes to a particular feast with the same appetite never returns with the same appetite. So once he has got that particular feast, he is fulfilled, satisfied, and then he doesn't have the same appetite for the food. Here is where is the horse that doth untread again his tedious measures with the unbaited fire that he did pace them first? Have you ever seen a horse riding early in the morning going for a particular new journey? He will be galloping, he will be running fast, and he will be, you can say, very active. But all things that are with more spirit chased than enjoyed. In that similar way, once that particular horse comes back from the journey in the evening time, he won't be galloping or won't be that active. He would rather be tired and would rather be walking or running slowly. So that is how he says everything, once they have, once you, till the time you are trying to achieve them, they are, you can say, strived with a lot of enthusiasm. But once they are achieved, then that enthusiasm, that interest, that urgency, it all fades away. How like a yonder or a prodigal the scarfed barks puts from her native bay, hugged and embraced by the wanton wind, how like a prodigal doth she return. Now here he is talking about a particular ship, like a prodigal spendthrift. It is nicely and lavishly decorated when a new ship starts its journey. So it is beautifully decorated with scarves and flags and new wood and everything new and beautiful, spend nice stuff and lavishly spent on the decoration. But once and it is, you can say, kissed by the winds and blown by the pushed by the winds, it moves. But throughout its voyage, its journey, it is, you can say, where it goes through wear and tear, and by the time it returns again, that same ship is called prodigal, but this time not for being lavish decoration, but this time for being like a very in a very weary condition, totally bad condition, like a prodigal son who was totally a bankrupt at the later part of the story. Similarly over here it looks like the entire ship has worn and torn and has become in a very bad state of condition. So here it is said, how like a prodigal doth she return with over-weathered ribs and rag sails. The sails are torn, the ribs, the side planks, they are all broken and scarred, lean, rent and beggared by the wanton wind. The strong winds in the ocean, the sea, they have done all their bit of corrosion and everything on the ship, and that is why the ship is basically having all the various, you can say, signs and symbols to show that it has gone through a lot and the condition of the ship has deteriorated. So the condition with which the ship starts, it does not always return with the same beautiful and bright condition, it deteriorates. So that is why he is Gracian explaining कि हर चीज़ जो जैसे शुरू होती है वो उसी इंटेंसिटी, उसी इंटरेस्ट के साथ कंटिन्यू होके एंड तक नहीं रहती है. It starts deteriorating and in a way depreciation, you can say. So that is what the condition applies for all the other different aspects of life. Salarino on this particular comment later says, because now he has seen Lorenzo coming, he says, here comes Lorenzo, more of this hereafter. अच्छा, इसके बारे में बाद में बात करेंगे, because Lorenzo has come, because he doesn't want to get into all that long explanation from Graciano. Lorenzo enters and he is apologetic. He's apologizing for this, and he says, sweet friends, your patience for my long abode, not I, but my affairs have made you wait. It is, I'm very sorry that I was late. I told you to be here and I myself was late, but it was not for any personal reason. There were some particular important matters which kept me engrossed, and I was late, so I had to keep you waiting. But sorry. Then he says, when you shall please to play the thieves for wives, I'll watch as long for you. Then approach. Here dwells my father, Jew, ho, who's within. So here he says, in a way of pacifying the condition, he says, when you will be getting yourself a wife, then in that case, when you will be trying to get someone run with you, I'll be there with you and I'll help you out and I'll wait for you as long as you have waited for me. But so far, as for this time, let's quickly move towards the place where Jessica is waiting for them. And he says, as they walk, they come across Shylock's house. So Lorenzo addresses that this is my father's Jew's house. Why is he calling him father? Because now he is going to be his father-in-law, whether they assume it or whether they take it or not. But Jessica is Shylock's daughter, so that is why in that particular way, Lorenzo is supposed to be calling him father-in-law. So he says, this is my father's Jew's house. Who's within? That is there anyone inside? At that time, if you can imagine, you can see that in front of you there is a stage, and on the stage, right in front of you there is Lorenzo, Graciano, Salarino, they are talking, and over there on the stage there is a particular place which is a little higher than the stage, and that would be the balcony from where Jessica is coming out to see who's there on the streets. You can imagine this particular scene. You many a times you have seen in the movie Romeo and Juliet and all that happening, the girl looking down from the balcony. So that is the kind of you can say arrangement is done on the stage. So over here, the similar way, Jessica is coming to the balcony, and there she says, who are you? Tell me, for more certainty, albeit I'll swear that I do know your tongue. Who are you? Please tell me, because I want to be more sure that you are the person whom I am thinking you are. Because she says, albeit or although, I swear that I know the voice, I can hear know the tongue means I know the voice, I can make out whose voice this is. but she wants to be more sure whether or not it is Lorenzo or somebody else. She might be not able, misjudging. Lorenzo says, Lorenzo and our love. Jessica says, Lorenzo certain and my love indeed, for who love I so much, and now who knows but you, Lorenzo, whether I am yours. She says, yes, it is indeed Lorenzo, because he has told, and he is the love of Jessica. So she says, yes, you are my love and you are Lorenzo. I can make it out. You have accepted it, and now nobody else knows, but only you know, Lorenzo, that whether I am going to be yours or not, because you are the one on whom it depends whether I'll be able to run away today from my father's house or not. Lorenzo says, heaven and thy thoughts are witness that thou art. He says, all this heaven and the stars, the starry night stars, they are all going to be the witness that you are going to be mine from now onwards. Jessica says, here, catch this, and from the balcony he throws a particular casket, a box. It is worth the pains. I am glad 'tis night. You do not look on me, for I am much ashamed of my exchange. She says, take this, it is worth the pain means ये इतना भारी है लेकिन फायदे की चीज है, इसको रख लो. And moreover, she says, I am so happy that it is the night time. You cannot see me properly and clearly, because she has got a particular change, that is in disguise of a page boy, or in the dress of a servant. So he says, but love is blind and lovers cannot see the pretty follies that themselves commit, for if they could, Cupid himself would blush to see me thus transformed to a boy. Lovers are so stupid, they turn out to be so stupid and idiotic when they are doing certain things for the love, that they don't even realize what stupid things they are doing. And that is why if they would ever realize, then Cupid right now, the god of love, would see me and would blush to see a beautiful lady changed into a servant boy, and just for the sake of keeping promise with her love. So that is what she says कि I am much ashamed कि मैंने ऐसे एक सर्वेंट की ड्रेस ले रखी है, और अगर मैं ऐसे ही रहूँगी तो even if I could realize what stupid thing I am doing, तो even Cupid, the god of love, would also be blushing, would feel ashamed or embarrassed for my transformation or disguise. Lorenzo says, descend, for you must be my torchbearer. Now he breaks the particular thing, revelation for Jessica, that you are going to be my torchbearer. तुम मेरे लिए मशाल उठा के ले जाओगी. जो मशाल उठा के ले जाएगा तो probably that is assumed कि वो लाइट के पास रहेगा, so he might be seen. So Jessica says, what, must I hold a candle to my shames? They in themselves good sooth are too light. शी इज सेइंग कि व्हाट डू यू वांट, कि मैं वो कैंडल इसलिए ले जाऊँ ताकि जो मैं एम्बेरस फील कर रही हूँ मैं और लोगों को दिखाऊँ अपनी एम्बेरसमेंट एंड अपना ये ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन विच बेसिकली इज टू लाइट मीन्स विच इज बेसिकली क्वाइट absurd in a way. Why, it is an office of discovery, love, and I should be obscured. She is saying it is basically it is a duty to light up and reveal things, but I should be kept hidden, concealed, so that people do not come to know. And you want me to come into light, you want me to hold the torch so that everybody could understand and find out that I am the one running away with you. I should be concealed at this moment. Lorenzo says, so are you sweet, even in the lovely garnish of a boy, but come at once, for the close night doth play the runaway, and we are stayed for at Bassanio's feast. वो कह रहा है वहाँ पे लोरेंजो कि माय डियर जेसिका, आप अभी भी बहुत अच्छे लग रहे हो, इवन इन द डिस्गाइज ऑफ अ सर्वेंट बॉय यू विल ऑलवेज लुक गुड, बट प्लीज डोंट हेजिटेट एंड कम फास्ट, बिकॉज द नाइट इज प्लेइंग द रन अवे मीन्स ये रात बहुत जल्दी से जा रही है, गुजर रही है, और ज़्यादा टाइम हो गया तो पीपल माइट कम सर्चिंग फॉर अस दैट व्हाई वी आर नॉट इन द फीस्ट, एंड देन दे माइट इवन फाइंड आउट द एंटायर प्लान, और मे बी द नाइट माइट पास अवे एंड इट विल बी डे ब्रेक, एंड इन दैट केस wherever you will go with me, everybody will be able to see you and recognize you. So come fast, and we are stayed for at Bassanio's feast. We are straight away going to Bassanio's feast, because that is a masquerade. There in the mask we'll be there, and then from there onwards we'll move further with the plan, whatever the plan they have decided. Jessica says, I will make fast the doors and gild myself with some more ducats and be with you straight. Now Jessica moves back inside behind the curtains on the stage, and that means balcony से वो अंदर चली गई है. अब दूसरी बार when she will enter on the stage at the stage level, at the same level where the other characters are standing. So she says, okay, I'll just go inside, I'll gild myself more with the jewels and ducats. That means अब वो थोड़े से और ducats और लेके आने वाली है अपने साथ साथ, so that they can have an easy time, you can say, when they'll be moving further according to their plan. So वो कह रही है मैं जल्दी से वो लेके आती हूँ ducats and then I'll be straight away with you. And she exit above. In the book it is given exit above means from balcony she gets behind the stage and then she will be coming down on the stage. Graciano at this time talks to Lorenzo and says, by my hood, a gentle and a no Jew, Gentile and no Jew. Gentile is basically taken in two ways. It's a Gentile is taken for a gentle lady and Gentile is also taken for a non-Jewish person. So here he's saying I can take a swear by my hood, by my head covering, that she is no more a Jew, she is no more a Gentile. She is a Gentile now, or she is basically a you can say gentle lady who has kept her promise. No, not a Jew anymore, and a decent and a very gentle lady. Lorenzo says, beshrew me, but I love her heartily. Whether you curse me, abuse me, say anything, but I love her truly. For she is wise. If I can judge of her, because I can say, if I can judge properly, I can say she is very wise. And fair she is, if that my eyes be true, and if my eyes show me everything true and correct, then I can say she is very fair, very beautiful. And true she is, as she had proved herself, and she, I believe, is very, very true, because whatever promises she made to me, she has fulfilled all of them. She has been true to those promises. And therefore, like herself, wise, fair and true, shall she be placed in my constant soul. And that is why I will always keep her in my heart with this particular trait, that I have got a wife, I have got a lady in my life who is true, fair as well as wise. At that time, Jessica enters below, that means on the stage in front of them. That is basically symbolic that she has come from her main door now. And so Lorenzo continues his speech, but now talking to Jessica. What, art thou come? Oh, on gentlemen, away. Our masking mates by this time for us. Stay. Okay, you have come, Jessica. Let's move on, gentlemen, because other friends of ours who are in Bassanio's feast, they must be waiting for us. At this time, they all go, Jessica, Salarino and all of them, Lorenzo. And there enters Antonio on stage. We are only left with one character on stage who we require for the scene, and that is Graciano. So Antonio calls out, and who's there? And instantly Graciano replies, greets him. So Antonio says, shame on you. I have sent 20 different people to search for you. Where are you? It's almost 9 o'clock. It is 9 o'clock. Our friends all stay for you. They are all waiting for you. No mask tonight. There is not going to be any feast. No mask party tonight. The wind is come about. Bassanio presently will go aboard. क्योंकि अच्छी एक favorable wind आ गई है, जिससे हमारी ship को voyage के लिए बहुत अच्छा एक you can say thrust मिलेगा, push मिलेगा. So that is why Bassanio has decided कि वो आज रात को ही voyage के लिए on board जाके निकल जाएंगे. And that is why he was searching for Graciano. I have sent 20 out to seek for you. So he says, मैंने कई लोगों को तुम्हारे पीछे तुम्हारे को पता करने के लिए ढूंढने के लिए भेजा. Graciano says, I am glad on it. I desire no more delight than to be under sail and gone tonight. He says, I am not going to be any more happy with any other thing. I just wanted this and now I am satisfied. I don't want any other happiness, any happy news, good news. This is the best thing that has happened and I want to be on board as soon as possible. So he's glad to be there with Bassanio and to be going towards Belmont. So with this, we come to the end of this scene, that is Act 2, Scene 6. Now we move on to Act 2, Scene 7. Here we see it is the other part of the play, that is the other venue, and that is Belmont, where Portia is there. And as we were told earlier, Morocco has already arrived. He has already reached over there and was eager to do the choice of the caskets. So this particular scene is where Morocco makes his choice. Although among all the choice making scenes, this one is one of the shorter scenes where Portia is there with all her servants, Nerissa, attendants, and Morocco is also there to make his choice. So here we start with Portia's speech. Portia says, go, draw aside the curtains and discover the several caskets to this noble prince. She is ordering her servants कि जल्दी से पर्दे हटाओ and let this particular prince see all the caskets. Discover all the caskets means let him find out or see all the caskets in front of him. Now make your choice. Then she says to Morocco, he can now make his choice. आप अब अपनी choice करिए. So Morocco says, the first of gold who this inscription bears. This is the first time the audience or in the play is also told what is written on the caskets. Later in the other choice scenes we already know, but this is the first time audience is told. Who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. The second, silver, which this promise carries. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. This third, dull lead, with warning all as blunt. Who chooseth me must give an hazard all he hath. How shall I know if I do choose the right? Now Morocco has gone ahead and has read all the inscriptions on the 3 boxes. He has inspected them. Now he's saying gold says what many men desire, silver says what as much as you desire, but the simple plain lead is threatening and saying whoever chooseth me will have to risk and hazard everything that he has. So he says, how will I come to know which is the correct box? What is the criteria of choosing and making the correct choice? So Portia explains it to him and says, the one of them contains my picture, Prince. If you choose that, then I am yours withal. इनमें से एक बॉक्स में मेरी पिक्चर है, पोर्ट्रेट है, and if you choose that, then I am all yours. Morocco says, some God direct my judgment. Let me see. I will survey the inscriptions back again. Some good divine being help me out. Some good fortune help me out. That I should make a correct choice. That let me guide, some godly divinely thing should come and guide me to make a correct choice. And once again I'll go and look into all the 3 caskets and inspect them, what is written on them. So he goes again and reads. What says this lead casket? Who chooseth me must give an hazard all he hath. Must give for what? For lead, hazard for this lead. This casket threatens. Men that hazard all do it in hope of fair advantages. वो कह रहा है ये लेड के कास्केट में लिखा हुआ है जो मुझे चूज करेगा वो सब कुछ दांव पे लगा देगा, रिस्क में लगा देगा. What for? And for this lead, and this is something which most of the people, those who totally believe in luck, might choose because they think कि जो चीज हर चीज को दाव पे लगा देने से, रिस्क पे कर देने से they would get fair advantages, and वो अच्छे की उम्मीद पे सब चीज उड़ा देते हैं, दाव पे लगा देते हैं. So that is something which only those people can do, those who do not trust their particular themselves in a way. Do it in hope of fair advantages. A golden mind stoops not to shows of dross. I'll then nor give nor hazard aught for lead. A noble mind will never go so deep down thinking such a basic thing, and that is why I am not going to be choosing this lead casket. I'll not hazard anything for this lead casket. Who chooseth me shall get as much as he deserves. As much as he deserves. Pause there. Morocco, and weigh thy value with an even hand. वो कह रहा है जिसको silver casket पे लिखा हुआ है who will choose me will get as much as he deserves, and he says deserving. Okay, I should pause there because I am Morocco, Prince Morocco, and I should value myself. What things do I deserve in this world? If thou beest rated by thy estimation, thou dost deserve enough. अगर मैं सही से अपने आप को estimate करूं, so I deserve a lot of things. And yet enough may not extend so far as to the lady. लेकिन बहुत ज़्यादा जो मैं अपने आप को डिजर्व करने की सोच रहा हूँ वो भी शायद उसमें पोर्शिया उसके बियॉन्ड हो, उतने में ना आए. वो पोर्शिया उससे भी बढ़कर है. And yet to be afeared of my deserving were but a weak disabling more of myself. लेकिन अगर मैं अपने आप को कम करके सोचूं तो that would be just disabling myself because I do deserve a lot. And then he says, as much as I deserve, why, that's the lady. And accordingly, if I deserve, see what all I can deserve, I do surely stand a chance that I deserve this lady, Portia. I do in birth deserve her, and in fortunes. मेरा एक noble birth है, I have very good fortunes or very good wealth, so I deserve her. In graces and in qualities of breeding, I have been brought up in very good quality education and lifestyle, so in that ways I totally deserve Portia. But more than these, in love, I do deserve. But most of all, because I love Portia a lot, I would be loving her a lot, so that is why I deserve her totally. What if I strayed no further but choose here? Let's see once more this saying graved in gold. He says he's quite convinced that I should be choosing the silver casket only. But for one last time, he says, okay, let's see what is written in the golden casket. And then he moves further and says, who chooseth me shall gain what many men desire. What? Why, that's the lady. All the world desires her. from the four corners of the earth they come to kiss this shrine, this mortal breathing saint. He says कि what many men desire, who chooses me will get what many men desire. Obviously the many men desire Portia, so the thing that is being talked about must be Portia, because the world knows her beauty, her virtues, and that is why they are all coming over here as a pilgrimage for this shrine. To kiss the shrine means as paying a pilgrimage over here, paying a holy visit to this particular mortal breathing saint, means a living saint over here. They are all coming like that to pay a visit to her. The Hyrcanian deserts and the vasty wild of wide Arabia are as thoroughfares now for friends to come view fair Portia. Now most of the people are coming from the Hyrcanian desert, the totally dry desert areas and the Arabian wilderness, and they are coming through those areas as if they are the normal trade routes, the common places of the route of most of the people, and it is not a very big deal to cross all these desert and wild areas, wilderness areas, and they are just coming for the sake of having a visit to Portia, to be her suitor. The watery kingdoms whose ambitious head spits in the face of heaven is no bar to stop the foreign spirits. The watery kingdoms where there are high tidal coastal waves and stormy winds blow high waves in the ocean and the seas, barring anyone from coming to their crossing those places. People are even crossing those oceans and seas as if they are very small streams, just to pay a visit to Portia. Even those high waves which are almost like kissing the sky, face of the sky, spitting on the heavens, it is given, that is the water rising up till the heaven and very high waves, even they are not able to stop these suitors. One of these three contains her heavenly picture. Is it like that lead contains her? It were damnation to think so base a thought. Now he is thinking इन तीन में से एक बॉक्स में उसकी पोर्ट्रेट होगी पोर्शिया की. So which one can that be? क्या वो लेड में हो सकती है? And then suddenly he reconciliates and says no, it cannot be so, because thinking such a thing would be too derogatory, because lead is not a very good metal, it's a cheaper, or you can say relatively cheaper metal. इसमें पोर्शिया जैसी खूबसूरत लड़की की पोर्ट्रेट को रखा नहीं जा सकता. It will be a curse to think such a basic thought. And then he says, it were too gross to rib her cerecloth in the obscure grave. ये इस लायक भी नहीं है कि इसमें वो क्लॉथ रखा जाए. Cerecloth is basically a cloth जिसमें dead bodies को wrap करा जाता है. So and it is kept in the grave. So he is saying कि ये इस लायक भी नहीं है कि इसमें पोर्शिया जैसी खूबसूरत लड़की का cerecloth भी रखा जाए. So that is why it will be too gross to think कि lead में उसकी portrait हो सकती है. Or shall I think in silver she is immured, being 10 times undervalued to tried gold. Now here he says कि क्या ऐसा हो सकता है कि silver box में she might be locked her portrait, but ऐसा करने से पहले मुझे ये सोच लेना चाहिए that silver is 10 times lesser in value, undervalued than the purified gold. O sinful thought, never so rich a gem was set in worse than gold. It is a sin to think such a thing कि वो सिल्वर में होगी, because इतना precious gem जो होता है, जूल जो होता है, वो सिर्फ गोल्ड पे ही कास्ट या अटैच किया जा सकता है. So a portrait of Portia, a beautiful Portia, can only be placed inside a golden casket. They have in England a coin that bears the figure of an angel stamped in gold, but that's insculpted upon. But here an angel in a golden bed lies all within. He says that in England there is a particular coin जिसमें एक angel बना हुआ है, और because it is a figure of an angel, the sculpted one, that particular figure is made or engraved on a golden coin because it has an angel. और यहाँ मेरे सामने एक living angel है, इसकी portrait तो और कहीं हो ही नहीं सकती है, but it has to be in a golden bed. Golden bed is basically the golden casket जिसमें the image or the portrait would be lying. So he is saying, calling that golden box as the golden bed, and the lying of the portrait is called as, that is why lying of the portrait, in that relation it is said that it will be a bed for that portrait. Deliver me the key, here do I choose, and thrive I as I may. He says, give me the keys and I will make my choice, and I hope that whatever I choose, it might lead me success. So he opens, he is given the keys, and then he opens the golden casket. As he opens the golden casket, there is a particular letter which is which he sees, the scroll and the letter. So he reads that particular thing. Sorry, before that, we have this Portia's speech. It says, "There, take it, prince, and if my form lie there, then I am yours." She says, "Take these keys, and if you can find my picture inside that box, then in that case, I will be yours." And she gives the keys to Morocco, and as he opens the golden casket, there he says, "Oh hell, what have we here? A carrion death, within whose empty eye there is a written scroll. I'll read the writing." He says, "Oh hell, what do we have?" He is quite amazed to see what is there he has found in this particular casket, because he was expecting Portia's portrait, but he says, "What is there in this particular box?" There was a skull. A carrion death is basically a skull with two bones. You must have seen the danger sign. So in that ways you can understand or imagine a skull with two bones. And in the eye socket of that particular skull, there was this particular scroll kept. And so he reads it, and it is saying, there is written a particular scroll. In the scroll it is written, he reads, "All that glisters is not gold. Often have you heard that told." हर चीज जो चमकती है वो गोल्ड नहीं होती है, ये आपने कई बार सुना होगा. "Many a man his life hath sold, but my outside to behold." कई लोगों ने मेरे बाहर के मेटल को छूने के लिए या पाने के लिए अपनी पूरी की पूरी लाइफ दे दी. What is that बाहर का मेटल? That is gold. So कई लोगों ने गोल्ड या रिचेस को पाने के लिए अपनी पूरी की पूरी लाइफ एक्सप्लॉइट कर दी. "Gilded tombs do worms enfold. Have you been as wise as bold? Young in limbs and judgment old. Your answers had not been inscrolled. Fare you well, your suitors cold." So all these lines are in rhyme, and that shows that this is an important message. So here he says कि कई लोगों ने अपनी जान दे दी मेरे बाहरी मेटल को सिर्फ पाने के लिए. And if you had been wise in making your decisions and bold in your, as you are bold in your actions, then you must have had a very nice judgment, because you should always be young in your actions but old in your thoughts, in your judgment. सोच समझ के डिसीजन लेते और तब एक्ट करते, then this scroll would not have been your answer. But since you have made this choice, so therefore your candidature is cold, means it is over. Your candidature has finished. It has gone away. It has died out. Now, after reading the scroll, Morocco says, "Cold indeed and labor lost." Cold indeed means coldness, or all these words like cold, they are related to sadness, or you can say end, or something sullenness. So he says it is cold, it is sad, and all the labor lost means hard work, all the effort has gone in vain. "Then farewell heat and welcome frost." Heat is considered to be the warmth of the body, as well as warmth of heart, feelings, gratitude, all the warm feelings, love, emotion, they are called as, are termed or signified by heat. Whereas cold or frost, they all show the cold feelings, and you can say sadness or death. So that is referred to with cold. So over here he's saying all the warm and happy feelings, goodbye to you, and sadness, you are welcome. Now I will be sad forever. "Portia, adieu. I have too grieved a heart to take a tedious leave." He is saying, Portia, goodbye, because I am too grieved, I am too sad to take a formal goodbye from you, to take a proper farewell from you, and therefore, thus loser's part means like a loser, I will go, and I will go instantly without any formal goodbye to you. And then after that, he says, he exits along with his attendants. At that time, Portia says, now he's gone, Morocco is gone. At that time, Portia says, "A gentle riddance, draw the curtains, go. Let all of his complexion choose me so." She is very happy that it was a gentle riddance. She has got rid of this particular suitor also. She does not have to marry him as well. And then she says, "Draw the curtains for the caskets, cover them, keep them behind the curtains." And at the end she says one particular comment which even shows the racial outlook of Shakespeare as well as Portia is given over here, that all the people of his complexion, the black people, all those who come, they should all be making the similar choice. Complexion can be taken for his color also. Complexion can be taken as all the people like him should all make wrong choice, but mostly it is taken for the color. So that comes to an end of the scene, that is Act 2, Scene 7. In the next video, we'll be continuing with Act 2, Scene 8. So here we'll end up this video with the end of Act 2, Scene 7.